Welcome to the channel, everyone. So I just picked this up. This is a 60-inch Swisher pull behind. It's a finishing mower. It's not a brush mower. It's not a brush mower type mower. It's a finishing mower. But anyway, it's going to work good for what I need. Like I said, I just picked this up yesterday morning. Wasn't expecting to need it quite so fast, but my 42-inch agrifab blew up on me yesterday. She done blow it up. It's got no compression. There's no more compression. I can feel that. So without compression, you ain't gonna get a motor to fire as I was mowing. So yeah, I need this now. But you're probably not gonna believe me, but I got this thing for $400. I've been wanting one of these 60-inch pull behinds since I got my DR, and I put my DR in the front of the Ranger. I wanted to pull the 60-inch. So I've been looking and looking and looking. You know, these are $1,000 to $1,200 all day long. Almost bought a few. I've seen a few for $800. They're usually pretty rough when you start getting in that kind of price. But yeah, this thing was $400, and it was like 20 miles away, I think. So I jumped on this thing quick. What I'm seeing is it looks pretty good. Like I said, usually when you start getting $800 and under, these things are pretty rough. But it looks like this thing was stored indoors most of the time. And I know it's all oily, which has got me concerned. I don't know why there's so much oil everywhere. The guy is talking about gas being everywhere, but gas evaporates. So, yeah, the machine overall looks pretty good. The belts actually look pretty good. I was going to get some new belts, but open the covers up, and it looks like someone has done the belts. Not recently, but I don't believe them are the original belts. A little bit of concern, the motor belt was off. So why did that pop off? I don't know. This spring here, this thing doesn't seem like it's very tight. I don't know how tight these are supposed to be. This spring looks a little messed up. Right there, I don't know if you can see that. It looks like it's kinked or something. But I know if you let these belts loosen up too much, they have a tendency to pop off. My little agrifab, sometimes it had a notch thing that the lever went into, and if it went too far and loosened up too much, I know my belt popped off a couple times doing that. Once I got it figured out not to let it go so far, it never did pop off on me again. So yeah, the spindles, everything feels tight. I mean, the tires are shot. I've just ordered brand new black ones from Swisher. I figured I got a smoking deal here. I might as well spend a little money. I get all new tires for it. All new. You can go on Amazon and eBay and get cheap tires. But I mean, I don't know. I spent the money. Hopefully they got better bearings and everything. They're a better wheel. It's got the hitch here. It's adjustable. You can offset it. I may have to kind of customize that because, like I said, I got a custom mower DR in the front of my Ranger, so I might have to modify where that's mowing. This 60 inches should be much better than the 42 I had. This has got 13 horse, motor, which that's not enough. It really ain't enough for these 60-inch pole mowers. I would say 19, 20 horses is what these really need, and then you really got something. It's so much nicer. Anyway, it is what it is. Hopefully it runs good. When you get something for $400, the guy really didn't want to touch it. That's kind of the deal. He don't want to do anything. He just wants to get rid of it. So I didn't hear it run. He says it runs and mows really good. The blades again look like they've been recently done, like the belts, and they just hasn't been used much. So I mean, he said he did a field at when he bought his house or whatever, and then I guess didn't do it anymore. So the gas, he said he put stable in there. I'm not really liking the smell of the gas in the gas tank. Probably gonna drain all that out. I'll get some new fuel line. I'll get a new fuel filter. If the carb needs to be cleaned, I guess I might have to do that. But battery is shot. I'm gonna get a new battery. I'm fixing to pull the spark plug right now, kind of see what it looks like, and probably just throw a new one in, just so this thing is, it has a really good chance of running good. So, yeah, it's you can see the numbers there. Usually when there's numbers like that, they were at an auction, and he admitted he got it at an auction. But he says it runs good. He said it wasn't burning oil. It's got a little too much oil in it, and it's like super clean, like someone just put it in there. That's got me a little concerned. I mean, it's got a deflector here. I mean, this thing is heavy duty. I mean, you can see the frame on this thing. This is a heavy duty mower. It actually looks heavier built. Well, maybe not. It's just kind of a different design than the DR. But it's it looks like them bolts have been on and off. That's the motor plate. So I mean, it's got oil all over. I hope it's not leaking bad or something. But I mean, if I gotta repower, even if I gotta buy a brand new motor for this thing, the price that I paid for it, I mean, I could drop a new motor on this thing, new wheels and tires, and I could still sell it, probably make a little money. But I didn't buy it to make money. I bought it to mow a big field, and that's what it's going to do, hopefully. But yeah, it's another thing that's got me a little concerned is somebody wore these tires out, these front ones. I'm hoping that they weren't mowing that much. I'm hoping that maybe they drove this thing down pavement or something for a good distance or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't have all them hours on the motor and the belt and spindles and everything. Hopefully the wore out tires is because they was driving on pavement or something to go somewhere and mow. But yeah, I'm going to I was actually going to change the oil and put a new battery in it and just see if it fires up, but yeah, the oil looks so dang clean that there's really doesn't seem to be much of a point in probably changing that. I thought it was way overfilled, but once I wiped the dipstick off and dunked it in there, it's a little bit overfilled. So yeah, I think I'll just get a new battery and see if she fires up. Okay, new fuel line, new fuel filter. There's the old stuff. I picked this up, just a bunch of fuel filters and a little bit of fuel line when I was working on that other pole mower, just so I had it laying around. And what do you know, got the new battery on there. I cleaned up the connections. I did turn it over. Seems like it's turning over kind of slow, but this should be a brand new battery. I'm gonna put some fresh fuel in it. I drained all the fuel. There's about a half a gallon in there. Didn't smell the greatest, so I'm gonna get some fresh in there, see if this thing will fire up. Well, let's see if she fires up. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't put a new spark plug in. I got them ordered, but I don't know. We'll see how she goes here. Gotta turn the switch on. Okay, so that was a little bit of a smoky first start, and I originally thought I saw blue smoke coming out of there, but I rewatched my video, and it actually looks to me like it's just old fuel. The guy said this thing hadn't run for a year. I don't know if that means a year and a half, almost 2 years or whatever, but and I was choking it with the switch being off, so I was flooding it with probably old fuel that was still in the carburetor. It seemed to clear off as it ran, so I think, like I said, I think that's just old fuel. One thing I don't understand is why the muffler blows straight back at the guy starting the machine. It doesn't make no sense to me at all, but yeah, it sounded good. It had a little pop to it, very slight. I'm hoping again that's just kind of like old gas that was in the carburetor. Once it runs new fuel through in there and it gets everything moving again, I think it's going to be okay. Hopefully I might dump some seafoam or something in there. My first half a tank of fuel or something in there, try to clean everything up. But yeah, I got a few things ordered. New spring for that belt engagement. I noticed spindle bearing is gone. It's like gone on that side. So hopefully it looks like someone's been running it that way for a little while. Hopefully they didn't wreck the outer area. So I got new spindle bearing. I'll show them when I get them. yeah, I think that's about it for now. Wheels should be here in a few days. I just got a email from Swisher. Very quick turnaround. Really happy with that. I think they're only in Missouri, so they're not that far away. Yeah, it's I got my new battery on a trickle charger there. I'm gonna probably charge that all night. Okay, so I've gotten a few parts here. It's super windy today, so hopefully it ain't gonna mess up my audio. But got a new air filter. Extremely important. I don't think people realize how important an air filter is. But I got a new air filter. Again, hopefully that wind ain't messing this up too bad. Picked up a new gas cap, which kind of doesn't really screw very good into there, but it's better than this one. This one's falling apart, and I don't need junk falling in the fuel tank. So replace that. Good enough for now. Maybe I might call Swisher, see if they got a replacement cap for that. Oh, spark plug. Put a new spark plug in there. The old one is a little concerning. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick that up or not, but it's pretty black. It looks a little wet too, which I don't understand why it'd be wet. I did run it a little bit, but I'm hoping that that's just a really old spark plug. I'll link, guys, all the parts that I'm getting for this. I don't know how many people are gonna mess with the Swisher, but I'm sure a few people will. So I'll link what I'm using, guys, and yeah, that's about all I got for now. Waiting on some more parts. The bigger parts will be here tomorrow, I think. So yeah, I'm waiting for more parts. Okay, so I got my wheels, and these are right from Swisher, so they should be the right stuff. And like I said before, they should be hopefully better quality than something you could just get off Amazon. They're going to be they're going to have the right hubs too. You know, you shouldn't have to use all kinds of weird spacers. I know they got a spacer on the front from Swisher to use their wheels, but they're doing that, I believe, to be able to use the same tire front and rear. So it's kind of a smart way to do it, because you can use the same tire front and rear and just use a spacer on the front. So yeah, got the new wheels. They're the black ones because all the newer Swishers have the black wheels now. I don't think they put the white ones on anymore, but I haven't really looked, but it looks to me like they're black now, so I just kind of want to give it a newer look. Also picked up one of these things, kind of a bent rod. This is for the adjusters, so you can adjust the height. See the adjuster here, and you stick this in here like so, and then you can turn this. And this is what adjusts the deck up and down. There's 3 of them. There's one in the front right there, and there's 2 on the sides. And right now it's all the way up. And somebody made one here. And it works. But it's pretty rigged up. So yeah, I think these are supposed to like stay on there, and then you're supposed to, they stay on there and they fold down or something like so, and they're supposed to stay on there. I don't know how they hold them, because there's no really way to hold them there, but I'm just gonna keep this in my Ranger, and I'll just use this one to adjust all of them. I'm not going to leave it on the machine there. So I'm going to do the rear wheels because they're going to be the easiest right now. I'm just going to pull them off. There's just a cotter pin nothing difficult. A cotter pin there. This should slide out. I don't know if there's washers or whatever. If they got washers and whatever on there, I'll have to see when I pull them off. But these are the easiest ones. Front one's a little more difficult because they're on a caster. So they got a bolt on them. This is the one tire that is completely gone. And then hopefully by the time I get the other two tires on, I got bearings coming for this spindle. I don't know if you can see it. See the bearings in there crooked because this bottom bearing is gone. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they didn't run it so much that the bearing won't fit in there. So yeah, hopefully by the time I get those rear tires on, we'll have my bearings. Oh, and my spring's coming too. This doesn't seem to be very tight. It's like it doesn't tighten the belt up very much. Now this spring is all weird. I showed you that. I don't know if that's the problem or that's just the way that it's designed, so the belt slips rather than it being so tight that it like stalls the motor out or stops the motor. So I don't know if that's like designed into the whole equation or what. But I'll get that new spring on there, and I guess I'll test it out and I'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, so I got them both off, the rear ones. Shaft looks really good. So the bearings were doing their jobs. They were working. This is a shaft. It slides all the way across, goes to the other side. So I thought that was just a solid welded shaft in there, but it ain't. There's a washer that was on the front. It'll go on the front part of the wheel. And there's a cotter pin, obviously holding everything together. I got a new one because this is the only thing holding the wheel on. I ain't gonna put an old one back on and risk the wheel falling off. So just going to slide my new wheels on. Oh, them are nice and shiny, aren't they? I wonder if them are original to the machine. Really don't know how old this one is. It's got the removable fuel tank. There's a pin and the fuel tank comes off there. So I don't think it's the oldest one they've ever made, but I think it's an older one. But anyway, I'm gonna get these rear wheels on. We'll move to the front. Okay, so those look really good. Now we go to the front. I'll show you this one. See how bad that's wiggling? Yeah, that's got to be addressed. I'm going to do the easy one first. This one here is tight. The fork is tight. It feels weird spinning. So I don't like that, but I don't have new bearings. I'll have to get another set. But anyway, this wheel here is on with this big old long bolt through here. There's washers, these smaller washers, just like on the back. There's one on each side of the wheel, and then there's a spacer. There's a spacer for this side. I'm going to get some rain here in a second. See how this side sticks out? This side is in, so it needs a spacer. So I'm going to get that assembled, and then we're going to go to that side and see if I can't fix that wobbling caster. Okay, the front one is installed. Now you can see that caster's disassembled. It was a 1.1/16 nut. 1.1/16 nut. and then this washer was on top or under the nut. So my fears are confirmed. You probably can't see it, but it's wrecked back here. Looks about half of it isn't wrecked. I might be able to get away with just a new bearing for now. So here is the caster, and you can see that bottom bearing is gone, and luckily the inside is still there, because if it would have wrecked this surface, probably would have needed a new fork, which I think they still sell them. So it wouldn't have been a big deal, but it would have been more money. So I got to get this old bearing off. This is the top bearing that was still good. These are the new bearings. They are what are they? They're 6204-2RS. Now I think these are China bearings I just grabbed. They're probably the quickest shipping on Amazon. And then you can get a nice Timken. Probably get 2 more for the other side, because the other side it ain't destroyed, but it just doesn't feel smooth. So I got to get this rest of this old bearing off. I probably got to do a little cleanup on the mower side, because someone was running this for a little while with that bearing gone. It's easy to replace. I don't know why you wouldn't just replace it, but anyway, I'm gonna do some cleanup, get these new bearings in here, get my final new wheel on, and then I've got my clutch spring, I guess they call that. I'm gonna throw that on there, see if that tightens the belt up any. I'm thinking it's not going to, but I think that's just the way it's designed, but we'll see. I gotta get going. Okay, so I pulled the old bearing off of the caster there. They got this chewed up pretty good too. So I found what looks like some type of a washer underneath all this. It was underneath like that. And I don't know if that's some rigged up thing that someone was trying to do, or if this is an actual washer spacer thing that's supposed to be under the caster to space it up off the actual thing that this goes on, or not. I just got to, I didn't take the other one apart. The other one's in much better shape. I haven't taken that one apart. I don't have a diagram or nothing. So I just have to, I guess, do my best guess at what, if I need a washer there or not. So I don't know. I'll do my best to put it back together. Okay, so I went out with my file and cleaned up the bottom part where the bearing sits. So the bearing wasn't going in, so did a little bit of filing because it smashed it a little bit. It goes in there, doesn't really fit right, but it is what it is. I found this washer here. I'm going to replace whatever that is. That's going to go on there like that. It's not like a real washer. It's I don't know what it is. It's a spacer or something like that. Then I'm going to take my bearing. I don't think there's an up and down. It's sealed either way. Then I'm going to put that on there, and I believe they want something. You can see that. I think they want something to hold this bearing up off of there, so you're not riding on this bearing. That's what this is, but I don't know how big or small that's supposed to be. So anyway, I'm just going to put that washer in there. I'll put this together, see how I like it. And if it ain't working out, I don't know, I'll figure something out. But I'm going to go out there, try to get this back assembled. Okay, so I got the fork on it. I mean, it feels good. The bearing isn't going up into there. Well, I can't say that because this is worn out. I suppose they could have worn out enough So you can now see the bottom of the bearing maybe. I don't know, the threads aren't sticking up as much as this side. And you can see that there's not quite a gap on the bottom. This one's got more of a gap, but like I said, this has been worn off pretty good. So I don't know if there might always be a gap there. I can see on this side, I can see there's a washer thing inside there, just like I did. So yeah, this, I mean, if I'm a 16th off, this thing's a 16th lower than the other side. I don't think that's gonna affect anything. I might look into this in the winter time maybe, see if I can't get these threads looking like the other side. Maybe the other side's too tight. Whoever had this was pretty lazy, because this is easy. These bearings are easy to replace. No reason to leave it that long. No reason at all. But anyway, I'm going to get my new tire on here. Clean that up a little bit. Get my new tire on here. Get my new spring on the clutch. And I'll be pretty much done besides cleaning this thing up. Okay, so I got another little issue with this tire that goes on that caster. Remember I showed you these two washers that go on each side of the wheel? They go up against the bearing, because they want this up against the bearing, not this. So this is the spacer. Well, they didn't have the washer on this side, and this spacer was actually digging into that bearing. So that's kind of what you don't want. That's why you want the washer on each side of that bearing. So I digging around in our machinery bushings, we've got some of these. Now this wasn't as thick as that washer, so I'm going to double. I'm just going to use two of them, and that's the same thickness as this kind of bigger, thicker washer. Otherwise, these are the same size. So that's a 5/8 bolt, I believe. 5/8 kind of axle, they're calling it, for these wheels. So I'm going to get these washers in place, grab my new wheel, bolt it on. Okay, so there's a spring I took out. It's got me a little nervous because it looks like this was intentionally bent. And I have a feeling someone was trying to get this to be tighter. Now with this new spring, I don't know, it might be slightly tighter. That was fun getting this on, is over that little stubby thing there, but yeah, hopefully all the belts are going to stay on. But yeah, it looks like that was done intentionally. This thing was bent intentionally, so I guess I'll find out why. Yeah, that's a wrap on fixing everything on here. Oh, I gotta drain some of the oil out. With the new tires on here, I've confirmed that there's just a little too much oil in there. I don't feel comfortable running it with that much oil, so I'm just going to drain a little bit. There's a drain here. There's an oil drain right there, and I'm just going to drain a little bit out. But yeah, I'm going to probably do that, and then I'm going to clean up the debris inside this deck. Then I'm going to degrease it, wash it off. And yeah, I don't know if I can test it right now because we just had a little rainstorm. I don't really want the deck clumped up with wet grass, so yeah, I'm gonna get to finishing this off, cleaning it up, and then we'll see what happens. Well, I think I found why there's so much oil everywhere. It's gonna drain a little bit of oil out of this motor, and look at this. The oil drain deal is loose. So I don't know how that got loose, because you can't turn that with the engine bolted down. It looks like it has to go just about a half more turn or 3/4 more turn there to be tight, and it looks like it shoots out the back. You're supposed to shoot the oil out the back. So I don't know if someone had this motor off, they forgot to tighten that up, bolted it down, and I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's where all this oil, there's no way that's sealed. Not when I can turn it by hand like that. So I thought I was almost done here. I was going to clean this thing up, ready for a test run. Okay, so not too bad of a fix here. I was able to loosen all the motor mount bolts. There's 4 of them. Turn that till it was facing backwards, which I think that's what it's supposed to be. And I think it's tight enough for now to get through the season. With what I got planned for this, this motor isn't going to stay on there. You know, really I should have probably pulled it out, put some thread tape on it to make sure it's like really sealed. But I think it's tight enough. It's going to make it through the season here, the rest of the season. And then, like I said, I plan to repower this thing anyway. So this is I'm kind of testing this motor. I was wondering where the oil leak was, and I think I pretty much found that. So I'm going to tighten all my bolts back up. Then I'm going to clean this thing all up so I can make sure that that was the oil leak while I'm running it. So yeah, not too bad. Those engine bolts ain't too bad, but everything just adds up. Takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to put them back on and get back to cleaning this thing up like I was going to do. Okay, so there it is. Guys, all cleaned up. Not really cleaned up. I just degreased it. It is a mower. This thing's going to be dirty 99% of the time. So I just got all that oil leakage, or not all of it, most of it off. So yeah, it cleans up pretty good. Actually, I think if I scrubbed it a little bit, it might shine in some places. But yeah, okay, so I didn't test this thing at the shop. Probably going to regret that. I'm already out here getting ready to test it on the job. So hopefully it'll fire up. I've been firing it up and it's been working just fine. I'm a little worried about the belts. Seems like people have trouble with these belts on these Swishers. I've been looking them up, and that's what I've been hearing, but I don't know. I've never had trouble with belts on any mower. I've gone through some thick grass on my mowers and stuff, but I've never burned up a belt. But anyway, I'm going to probably pull these covers off and leave them off so I can see the belt, because I don't need to be taking them on and off right now. I just need to make sure everything's going to work. I did order a new drive belt. I actually got an inch smaller because it's so loose. I got an inch smaller. I don't know. So if that does break, I got that. It's at home. I'll have to go get it. But yeah, I'm going to hook it up here to the Ranger. I got my custom hitch that I was using with the 42 inch, but it's probably not going to line up right. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to modify the Swisher. It's pretty easy to do because they got a square tubing that slides out. That's how you get the offset, and you can do it on either side. So all I got to do is I'm just going to drill a new hole where I need it to be. So I'm going to get this thing hooked up, kind of eyeball it, and see where I need to be. Okay, so I got this thing hooked up to the Ranger, and it's going to be close, guys, for the overlap. I don't want a ton of overlap. You might want to have a ton of overlap or more overlap, like a foot, if you're going to be doing a lot of turning. I'm doing mostly straight mowing here, and I need maximum width. So I was going to drill a new hole and move that in further. I think I'm going to try this, see how it mows, if I'm leaving a stripe, or maybe I won't. I do turn. Maybe I'll want a little more overlap. I don't know. I got to use it. I'm gonna use it as is, where they have the holes. They have several different holes, so you can kind of offset this thing. Well, you drill a custom hole, you can do whatever you want. But they have like 3 holes, I think, for adjusting it offset. It'll go further out. It'll go 2 more holes out. So this thing will it'll really go out there. But anyway, I'm gonna get these mowers fueled up. Oh, I adjusted the height. Now it might be too low in the front there. I might crank the front up a little bit. But again, I gotta try. I kind of use my foot to judge how far to go. But anyway, I'll adjust the front, fuel this up, get these fired up, and I'll get the mowing here. Okay guys, so I'm mowing along. I did have to drill a hole and move that mower over because it just wasn't covering the tracks. So I did that. This thing's mowing so good. The DR, on the other hand, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you see that it's puffing black smoke. They have the fuel tank vent going to the carburetor, and when I fill the fuel tank full and it gets bumpy, I believe it's sucking fuel in and makes it rich, and it makes it pop and all kinds of stuff. It's not happy. I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna take that vent and I'm just gonna make it a vent. I'm gonna get it off the carburetor. It doesn't like it. I don't know why they're doing that. But yeah, it's going good, guys. I think I got everything worked out. I'm gonna sit here and relax. I'm gonna turn my music on, and I'm gonna mow. Hopefully this stupid DR stays running. I should have fixed that vent thing, but like I said, I'm gonna get some music on, and I'm gonna enjoy this air-conditioned cab and mow my field. Okay guys, so it's the next day. Yesterday I got most of the big field mowed, and then it wouldn't drive the belt, or it wouldn't drive the blades anymore. The belt was on there. It was slipping so bad it wouldn't turn the blade, so I had to stop. It was too late to go get the belt and come back, so here I am today again to finish it off, hopefully. I got the new belt in there. It ain't that hard. A lot of people say it's difficult. It ain't that hard. I went with a 1 inch shorter belt because everybody was saying their belts come off all the time, and it was really loose. This lever here, it was like really loose, seemed like. So I went with a 1 inch shorter belt. I think that was a mistake because now it's driving the belts, it's driving the blades all the time. It won't release. So I guess I got to go with a 47 inch. Like it'll work. It'll get me done today, because once I fire this thing up, I don't shut the blades off till I'm done. So I just needed to turn the blades. It was a little harder to start today, which has got me a little concerned. I don't know if it was because it was turning the blades and I didn't know that, or I got another problem. It seemed like there was water coming out of the exhaust. I don't understand that. I think it was very damp last night. I know that. So very humid and damp. Still don't know why the cylinder would have water in it. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I got my fingers crossed that this can get through this year. All you needed to do is get through this year. So I'm gonna hook it back up. Got the Ranger running here. It's running because it's hotter than heck out here, and I got the AC going in the cab because I'm sweating. So if the audio's terrible, sorry. It's hot. So I'm gonna get it hooked up and get back to mowing. Okay guys, mowed the little field. This 2 60-inch mowers made quick work of that. This is working just fine now. I was gonna get the right size belt, the 47 inch, but now I can shut the belts off with this smaller belt. So it must have stretched out or something as it was being worked. So I'm just gonna leave the smaller belt right now. I might just grab the right size belt. I think it's like 10 bucks, I think, for a belt. I might grab 2 of them just to have them on hand. But so far, working good. I'm happy with it. This front adjuster keeps loosening up. It must be all the wiggling, and it keeps falling down on me, keeps adjusting down. But anyway guys, I'm super happy with this. I think if the motor keeps running all year, I'm going to be happy. So yeah, I don't understand the water thing, and then the not wanting to crank over. It could have been the belt was too tight. We'll see when I come back next week, I guess. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's probably going to be a long one. I'm going to throw all this together on this Swisher mower. So hopefully you enjoyed the long video. I'll see you guys.